I wanted to do a very quick makeover on a entry table that I have in the front living room just to make it look nicer. It's in pretty rough shape. There's some dings and scratches, and I kind of ruined it when I tried to get some sticky stuff out of it, so I'd scratched the paint off. So it's a good small project to do with a decal. First thing is just cleaning, getting all that dust off, and I also purchased these on Amazon. They're like marble contact paper. If you don't buy them at the same time, you're gonna get different shades. One's lighter than the other. But I'm gonna go with the whole roll. The other one's already used, so I have to go with the grayish tone one. I first lay the contact paper face down to measure it out so that I can make a cut, and I can save the remainder of that contact paper for something else. The contact paper has grid patterns, so you can always cut it with scissors or a razor, whatever you have, and you'll have a straight cut every time. I start positioning the contact paper on a corner, and I keep it flushed against the back side of the cabinet to try and get it straight onto the cabinet. Once I start taking that backing off, it's really sticky, so it's really hard to work with if you don't work slow. So I'm showing you, I'm starting off right at that corner, making sure that sticks. Once I know that corner's down, then I start working from the bottom up. So I start pulling that contact paper from the bottom and unroll it from the sticker. Essentially, it's a giant sticker. And then I have this squeegee. You can use a credit card or whatever you have that's flat. And I start working that sticker into that cabinet. If for some reason when you're working with this, you get a large bubble, you can always lift the contact paper while you're still working with it and not have it all the way down, and get that bubble out, and then just keep going. Smoothing and then pulling that contact paper at the same time is probably going to be the best bet to get a smooth finish with this type of contact paper. That first corner where I started, there was a huge bubble, and you can still go back in, then lift the sticker and get that bubble out, and that's what I did in this case. When you're working on the edges, you want to still kind of start at the top, push firmly down, and kind of slide down and under the sides of the cabinet so you can have a nice flushed edge there. You can go in with your razor and trim any excess. In this case, I only had that little strip there. Sharp corners are the hardest for me. What I try to do is think of it as a trim that you put on the bottom of your floor as a baseboard. You cut it at a 45-degree angle and kind of connect it in a kind of like a V form. Again, here to work on the edge, just start from the top and then slide down and under. So tuck everything under to make sure you have that edge, just like a real countertop that you would have in your kitchen or anywhere. The corners are the hardest to work with. Here I was working little by little, cutting and trimming away so that I can have a nice seam. The goal is to minimize an overlap and have a nice tight seam. You don't want to have an overlap. There's a lot of progress. We're almost there. This whole project probably lasted 20 minutes at the most. Unfortunately, I still had a lot of small bubbles in this sticker, and it can go either way. Sometimes I have good luck and it's nice and flush, and sometimes I don't know, I have a lot of bubbles for some reason. So what I did, it's the same thing as you do with fondant. You kind of cut a little slit where that bubble is, just to allow for that air to come out. You can see here's another bubble, and I did the same thing with the razor. I just cut a small slit to allow that air to get out, and then just pressed and push that air out, and now you don't even see it at all. And here it is all done. I'm really happy with it. I'm kind of going with that light and bright feel. I don't want to go with dark and grays. So this is what you see now when you first walk into my house, and I'm very, very happy with the outcome.